In a small village nestled among towering mountains, lived a young man named Marco. At just 24, Marco's mind was a battlefield. Thoughts, like relentless waves, crashed against the shores of his consciousness all day long. These endless thoughts left him drained and uneasy, constantly haunted by regrets of the past and anxieties about the future. His mind was a perpetual storm, robbing him of calm, stealing his sleep, and even making him forget how to smile. One day, whispers reached Marco of a secluded village high in the hills. It was said that a wise old man, a former renowned psychologist from the city, lived there. He had dedicated his life to helping people find inner peace and had now retired to a quiet life, surrounded by nature, occasionally offering his wisdom to those who sought it. A flicker of hope ignited within Marco. He decided he must meet this man. Perhaps, he thought, this sage could finally help him find the tranquility he so desperately craved. After a long and arduous journey that spanned several days, Marco finally arrived at the village in the hills. There, he found a small, charming house draped in lush greenery. On the porch, an old man sat in quiet contemplation, his eyes closed, radiating an aura of profound peace. Marco approached him cautiously and said softly, "Grandfather, my mind is in turmoil. I can't stop thinking. I yearn for peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, a gentle, knowing smile gracing his lips. "So, it is peace you seek?" he said. "Come with me. I have a small task for you." He led Marco to his quaint little yard. There, he took a glass and filled it with water, right to the very brim. The glass was so full that the slightest tremor would cause the water to spill. He handed the glass to Marco and instructed, "Walk from here to the edge of the village and then return. But remember, you must not spill a single drop of water." Marco looked at him, surprised by the unusual request, but determined to find his peace. He accepted the challenge without question. He held the glass with utmost care and began his walk. The path was narrow and bustling with life. People walked and ran past him, shopkeepers called out to customers, and dogs barked in the distance. Yet, Marco saw none of it. His entire focus, his entire world, was the glass of water in his hands. He moved slowly, deliberately, placing one foot carefully in front of the other. People on the path watched him with curiosity, but something in his intense focus kept them from disturbing him. They seemed to understand that he was engaged in something important. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Marco returned to the old man, his task complete. "Grandfather, I did it," he announced, a hint of pride in his voice. "I didn't spill even a single drop." The old man nodded, his calm smile unwavering. "That is good," he said. "But tell me, did you see the children playing by the roadside? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Marco looked puzzled. "No," he replied, "I saw and heard nothing. My entire focus was on the glass." The old man's smile widened. "That," he said gently, "is the secret. A secret that has always been inside you, waiting to be discovered. When your mind is fully anchored in the present moment, there is no room for fear, no space for confusion, and no place for an endless stream of thoughts. Your only concern was the water in the glass. In that moment, your mind became completely still. You weren't lamenting the past. You weren't afraid of the future." Slowly, like the dawn breaking over the mountains, understanding washed over Marco. This was the peace he had been searching for all along. Peace wasn't some distant treasure to be found. It was a state that existed within him, accessible whenever he chose to live fully in the present moment. Marco bowed his head in gratitude. "Grandfather," he said softly, "now I understand. To quiet my mind, I must simply keep it in this moment. That is where true peace resides." The old man smiled one last time as the sun began to set, casting long, golden rays across the land. Birds soared across the sky, returning to their nests. Marco started his journey back home, but he was no longer the restless young man who had arrived. He carried a profound peace within him, for he now held the key to calming his own mind. He had learned that the present moment is the only place where life truly exists, and in it lies the ultimate serenity. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of wisdom. Until next time, stay present and stay peaceful.